So, you want to try giving WoW a shot, but you've heard its add-ons, or you're returning to WoW and you can't remember how to get add-ons, or you've been playing WoW and you think it would be better with add-ons. And I wanted to talk through how I set up my UI as I return to the game. The first thing you need to do is you need to download Curse Forge. It's been a number of places over the years since we moved to having a launcher where it was all there and you didn't need to like put this stuff in add-on folders. So you're going to download Curse Forge, and then you're going to it'll scan for games that you have. The games that I have supported on here are Kerbal, Minecraft, and World of Warcraft, but there are a bunch of games that are supported here. And so within World of Warcraft, you're going to have these add-ons. And I started installing these when I realized, I was talking with somebody and they were like, hey, a friend of mine was like, I wish I knew how all this stuff worked these days. And so I wish you could kind of show me that journey. And some of you have kind of expressed interest as well. So I figured let's just film a guide as we go. So I've installed all of these. Now, one of the things that many guides will say is install the most important ones first, maybe install them one at a time so that it's not too much overwhelming. The question is, which add-ons do you need? So I'm going to make a run through the initial 13 add-ons that I know I'm going to need without fail. I already know that there's probably a dozen more that I'll add in the early weeks and months, and then there may be others that go on in addition to that. So we'll just go in alphabetical order because that's the order that it seems to be sorted in. So the first one is Altaholic. As a game that has a lot of alts, I find this is really handy to manage kind of where my different alts are at, where my gold is, and so on. So I've always enjoyed Altaholic for that. Bartender allows me to move my UI with Dragonflight right around the corner. Some of that may go native, so they are getting better and better and better about the base UI being able to do things that base UIs and MMOs of today should be able to, instead of being a base UI that still, in some ways, still very much resembles its roots. Immersion is a new one to me. This is supposed to make the questing a little more immersive by giving you these kind of more of these chat dialogue type boxes, and a little closer to how, I guess, like the non-cutscene quests play out when you're in kind of one of those open world cutscenes in Final Fantasy XIV. Mini map button frame. If you have a lot of add-ons, they're all going to populate your mini map with a bunch of little buttons. What this is going to do, if I remember correctly, is this is going to condense them down and shove them all into a single button so that if I want to get to settings, I can click it, it'll open up. But the rest of the time, my mini map isn't just surrounded like some weird little tiny Christmas tree. Pawn should be it should just tell me basically like basics of what level of an upgrade is this. When you're just leveling through the game, you should just be able to equip the highest level thing that is for kind of equipable by you of your right armor type, but it should be largely pretty intuitive. And when you get to end game, Pawn's not going to be perfect anyway, but I like seeing the little like, this is how much better it is, and the game doesn't do that by default. Quartz gives me control over my cast bars. And so that's just something that kind of, when added with Bartender, helps get there. Rarity, I like to collect rare stuff, and so sometimes in WoW, you have to kill a monster that's like a 1 in 1,000 drop or more, 1 in like 10 bajillion drop, 1 in it's impossible. And every time you kill it, Rarity's going to track that, and it's going to add that. So it'll say you've killed it this many, and it'll know. And when you pair that with like drop rate data and stuff, it just gives you a feel for like, are you really being unlucky? Okay, I think if I just wait, I kill it 2 more times, it can definitely drop. And so it just kind of really helps make that aspect of the game hopefully a little more fun. Sexy map is the map that I was using the last time I played WoW. There's many map add-ons. There's many of these add-ons. So feel free to do that. Shadowed unit frames. Unit frames is a very personal choice. So just pick something that makes the unit frames look the actual UI, the actual, like, when you target somebody, what does their bar look like? Something you like, something clean and crisp, whatever you want, but it gives you some control over that. Trade Skill Master I use for getting into professions and all of that. It is a huge add-on. There are many simpler ones. Once you get to know Trade Skill Master, you never go back, and it is something that you miss in every other MMO you do. So you get all those installed. Now what's cool is you don't need to shut the game down and boot it up anymore. You can just /refresh your UI, and like updating add-ons and adding add-ons, a lot of that just handles itself. But if you're new to add-ons or you're just returning to the game, it's overwhelming sometimes. If you boot it up, they're all open. All the things should also be on here. Oh, I didn't scroll up all the way. All the things tells you literally just all the things. How many quests there are in a zone that you haven't done, how many rare items you can get, and then Add-a-Bags is something that helps. It's like Bagnon. There's a bunch of those ones out there that help sort your inventory. So what you can do if you find that overwhelming, game music is back, because I guess my settings aren't set to play that all the time, is this is actually installed, like all of these and any of their like add-on factory some of these are like templates or supporting mods for the other ones. It just handled that. Like Altaholic and downloaded all this stuff. What you can do is you can just say, you know what? This is too much. I know that I want these because I went out and I watched a bunch of these video guides. I made a list. I talked to some friends or, you know, other people that play the game. I picked the most popular ones and I installed them all, and then I realized it's too much. That's fine. What you can do is you can say, you know what I want to do right out of the bay? I just want to get my inventory. That's what's driving me nuts in games. I can't handle it. And I can just enable that one. And then I can log into the game and I can add just that one. And so you can build these up slowly. Now, this is a game that cloud saves all of your stuff, so all of my abilities are right where I left them when I left the game. But, like, I don't remember all that. So, yeah, that's great that my keybinds are right in theory. But that's not wildly helpful. So I can open up my inventory here and whoa, it's so big because it's tracking all these different currencies. And so I can start to mess with this. I can go through each add-on, go through its config, add them slowly, add them 2 or 3 at a time. And that is how I would handle this. So I'm going to spend some time tonight and tomorrow on my stream and throughout the next week or so, continuing to just manipulate my UI, continuing to mess with it slowly but surely, and get it just the way I want it. You can dive as deep into this process as you want. As much as complex as Trade Skill Master can be to newbies, if you go do something like LVUI that has like Bartender and Quartz and all this stuff kind of baked into this whole thing, and you start to go download weak auras and deadly boss mods and get into a particular type of content, or you get into PvP and want the PvP add-ons, which there's a couple of those, and you get all this stuff going, it can look like a totally different game, and I encourage you to get to where it is just as seamless and fun as it is, and just know that if there's ever something about WoW you don't like, there is a chance that there's an add-on maker out there that has made a serious effort to make that aspect of the game not be so much in the way, and that way you can get back to the parts of World of Warcraft that you enjoy most. And, you know, while it can't remove the fact that, like, dailies have to get done daily to have daily results, hopefully they can make the game a lot more enjoyable, kinda.